set for football now at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Tonight, a good one straight ahead. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson. That is Jake Elliott getting this one started. Off we go from South Philly. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the veteran from Oklahoma State. It's Mason Rudolph.
The thing that has always really stood out and impressed me the most about this guy, Mike, is how steady and reliable he is anytime he's called upon. You know exactly what you're getting anytime he's under center. Maybe not the biggest arm in the world, but I'll tell you what, he gives you just enough to work with, and he is capable of getting the job done.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he takes off. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a first down.
A gain of 15.
And he just continues to show the ability to extend drives with his legs. It's not something people immediately bring up when they talk about him, Mike, but as we've seen, he's more than capable of making something happen whenever the opportunity presents itself.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. A couple of big plays to start this drive. How about 17 on this one?
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
Throw on the run is complete. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. You saw the guard take a pass set, Mike. He's hoping that defensive tackle just races up the field trying to sack the quarterback, and then you just hand the ball off to your back on a draw. In this case, the defensive tackle does a great job going from pass to run, and he's able to take the back down for a loss.
Throwing, Rudolph. Down the field, but it falls incomplete. DK Metcalf was the intended target. And now it's fourth down.
And the defender does such a good job, Mike, not only putting himself in position to make the play, but how often do we see guys that are there and they just can't quite make it? In this case, he's there, knocks the ball down, really nice play.
Oh, that is terrific. Out of bounds, inside the 5-yard line. So the Philadelphia offense set to take over for the first time. They're led out by the MVP of Super Bowl 59 at quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
The coaches spend all week, Mike, drafting up their opening script. These are the plays that they feel the best with to not only attack the defense early, but try to get an idea of what sort of matchups they're going to see throughout the course of the game. Now, all of that is thrown out the window. None of the plays take into account snapping it this close to your own goal line. They've got to try to get themselves some breathing room, pick up a first down or two. That will allow them to get back on track, executing the rest of that opening script.
Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
I think this is something that we can expect to see here, especially early, Mike, as this team gets into a rhythm. They want to lean on this run game. They feel like they have a lot of advantages over this defense, and you can see from the first play here why they feel that way.
Play action. Here's Hurts. That's caught. Saquon Barkley.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
And 4 at the 33-yard line.
Here comes 2nd and 4. On play action, Hurts. Looking middle, and he's got Brown. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
That's good.
13 yards on that pass play. First down, Philadelphia.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll run it here with Saquon. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards.
Tackle made right at midfield. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend. That's a heck of a stop by this defense early in this game, Mike, and it sets up a decision for the offense. You might be a little too far away to attempt a realistic field goal, but you might be a little too close to get anything out of the punt unit. I think I'm keeping the offense on. I'm trying to extend this drive, and I'm being aggressive here. I love this call. You're basically asking yourself, can your offense beat this defense? And they know exactly what play is coming. And I'll tell you the answer, it's an emphatic yes. They run the quarterback sneak right up the gut, and they turn 4th down into a 1st.
A first down throw for Hurts. He'll run again. They get 24 on that one. Good for an Eagles first down.
A gain of 24 yards. That's another Eagles first down.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life, his speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on the big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive.
And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Steelers' 17-yard line.
2nd and 7. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. He'll step up and run this. And he's going to slide down with the first down inside the 5.
13 yards on the play.
It's a gain of 13, and it's 1st and goal.
First and goal.
This has been a great drive, and mostly at the hands of the man with the ball there. He thought about pulling the trigger on that one, thought better of it, decides to take off with his legs, and now he's going to have 1st and goal.
Barkley trying to push forward, but only a yard down to the 2.
Peyton Wilson on the stop. A pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Steelers' 2-yard line.
From a little closer, here's 2nd and goal. Hurts going to keep it on the option. And this one ruined quickly. Take them back to the 5-yard line.
A 3-yard loss on the play.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
3rd and goal for Hurts. It is brought in the end zone. Hollywood Brown. Touchdown, Eagles. Greg, I love the precision on that play. Very little time, very confined space, and they come through with the touchdown.
And it's the accuracy of the throw, Mike, that protects his receiver. Everything down here near the goal line is so condensed. You understand you're going to be thrown into tight windows, but when you trust your quarterback to protect you with the ball placement, it gives you a lot more confidence going across the middle of the field, and in this case, pays off for a touchdown.
Jake Elliott now for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Eagles will take a 7-0 lead.
Eagles 7, Steelers nothing.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Johnson now to return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Steelers offense ready to get going with their second possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Now, faking the give. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. That is a big-time play for the Steelers. 37 yards.
Once he saw the defense, he knew that outbreaking route was going to be there. All he had to do was wait for his guy to get to the spot and drop the ball right in the bucket near the sideline.
On 1st and 10, it's Warren. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 9. Rudolph. This one is complete to DK Metcalf. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. First grab for Metcalf. Good for the 1st down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. I think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
The Steelers with the football to begin the 2nd quarter. Set to go now on 1st and 10. As we are ready to get back underway. under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. J-Wicks Hunt. He gets through to drop him, and it's a loss of 4.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Back to throw is Rudolph. That one's incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And 14.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. They've got it. It'll be 1st and goal after a pickup of 21.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe.
He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes.
And that's a big-time play. It felt like they really needed it, Mike. That was a drive where the offense seemed to be in complete control. Anytime on the defense where you find yourself on your heels, you're giving up big plays, you're giving up fresh set of downs, you need a spark. You need something to change the momentum of the drive, and we'll see if that was it right there.
First down was not very good. Here's 2nd and goal. Rudolph looking to throw. Taking off.
Great job in coverage here. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball. He decides to tuck it and turn it to a runner. They get to him quickly. Picks up a couple yards, but not enough now. Brings up 3rd down.
A nice drive. This is the 9th play coming up, and they cash it in on 3rd and goal. Now Rudolph. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
I think the most frustrating element to all of this is when you look downfield, there's guys open. There's plays to be made downfield in the passing game, but quite frankly, the pass protection has just been so bad that they haven't been able to take advantage of any of it.
Now on 4th down, the veteran Chris Boswell on for the Steelers. His kick is good. And the Steelers are on the board. It's 7-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Back out is Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. On the return, it's Tank Bigsby. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia offense set to take over once more. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Fake the give. Now it's Hurts. That's over the middle. Complete to Brown. And he'll the 40-yard line. Remember, he had the touchdown on the opening drive, and here on drive 2, he gets a first down with that catch.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off the play fake, Hurts. Moving to his left. He's going to run it. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
Mike, anytime you're preparing to play a quarterback like this, the defense has to be prepared to keep him in the pocket. Once he gets out, we can see clearly why he is such a threat with his legs.
On play action, here's Hurts. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Unfortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. To the sideline and pulled in by Smith. 17 yards on that play. First down, Philadelphia. Mike Tomlin wants the officials to get another look at it, so out comes the challenge flag.
The previous play is under review.
At issue, was he able to stay in bounds? The NFL rules, you're looking for either 2 feet or a body part that is not a hand to be down with possession of the ball. No bobbling, the ball not moving around. He has control, so that's what the referee is looking at here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge is unsuccessful, and he's going to have to be careful here because he has just one challenge for the remainder of the game. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. He'll go right back to Smith. They hook up again. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First and 10.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
Again, Hurts. He'll tuck it and take off. And he'll get into the end zone. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Elliott, good on the extra point. And the Eagles extend their advantage to 14-3. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Johnson now to return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They trail now 14-3, so an 11-point deficit as they start things out with first and 10. Here's Rudolph. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's second down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
We'll try again here. Second and 10. They'll run the draw with Warren. And he'll bring this across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4.
It's a gain of 4, and it's third down.
Third and 6. They send Fryermuth, the tight end, in motion. On third down, they'll set up to throw. That'll be caught. It's Metcalf. 12 yards on that hookup. That's a Steeler first down.
That's good for a Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
It just seems like whenever they need a big play on third down, you can almost guarantee that he's someone they're going to try to get the ball to, and certainly easy to see why. Clutch play by everyone involved and keeps the offense on the field.
Pressure gets there, and down he goes. Jalen Carter getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
This is the epitome of team defense. Not only are you able to rush the passer and put relentless pressure on him play after play, but the coverage on the back end is so tight. There's just nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball. You see him just continue to hold the ball that extra second in the pocket, and with the way these guys are pass rushing, that's all the time they need.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. To throw is Rudolph. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Jahan Campbell getting in for the sack. And that's going to lead to third and very long.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line. And if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. Back to throw. Here's a screen set up for Warren. Good hustle by the defense. They beat the offensive lineman to the blocks there. No gain on that screen pass.
Not the worst play call there. I actually like third down screen game, especially when you're anticipating some pressure, an over-aggressive defense who's selling out to get to the quarterback. In this case, not a lot of room to operate. They don't convert. Brings up fourth down.
A fair catch signals, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. Here comes the Philly offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. First and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll get this over the middle to Smith. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Big-time play for Philly. It's a gain of 49.
First down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
We see so many wide receivers in today's NFL that almost resemble more of a running back style. When they get the ball in their hands, not only are they able to pick up big yards, they're able to fight through tackles and make people miss. That's an element that a lot of offenses are searching for. Takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
A gain of a yard.
2 minutes remain here in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia right after this. Here's 2nd and 9. That's Goddard in motion. To throw on 2nd down is Hurts. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goddard. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. Quick throw here is complete. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well.
This is a great example of where just having situational awareness is so critical in the huddle. When every one of those receivers, Mike, breaks the huddle and go line up, they've got to know where that first down marker is. If your route calls, get by it, secure the catch, and bring up a fresh set of downs.
Now a screen set up for Barkley. The elusiveness on display there. Nifty footwork setting up 1st and goal. Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their 2nd. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down. To the air again. Hurts. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
Feels like they needed that sack this entire drive. It feels like the defense was really on their heels. The offense was taking it to them really however they wanted to. So to be able to take a deep breath now, disrupt the rhythm of the drive by getting that sack, that might go a long way now to allow them to get off the field.
So push back to the 11-yard line for 2nd and goal. A pistol snap back to Hurts. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
And he's not going to get there. This defense giving him no opening whatsoever, and now it is 4th and goal.
Brings up 4th and goal.
Here's Jake Elliott now to try the field goal. Officially a 29-yard attempt. Elliott's kick is good. And the Eagles going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. This taken at the 5. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. Steelers offense going to get it one final time in this first half. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Throwing, Rudolph. That's caught. Right side, it's Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds as the first down completion nets about 3.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
Here's a 2nd and 6. Rudolph. A throw left side. Taken in by Thielen.
Complete to Adam Thielen. 5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The backfield empty here for 3rd and 2. Back to throw is Rudolph. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So anytime you find yourself in 3rd and long, it's hard to really be unpredictable as a play caller because the defense knows it's most likely going to be a pass. They understand where the down and distance markers are, and there's really nowhere for him to go with the ball, and he has to throw it away.
Good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up.
At their own 23-yard line.
Bring it in.
Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he shows off those strong legs running through one tackle. Give him a gain of 8. Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the 3rd quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We welcome you back on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. He'll start on the ground with Barkley. And he is fortunate to get past the line of scrimmage. Call it a yard at most. Cameron Hayward, the former All-Pro, in on the tackle.
And 9.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Barkley. And they'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down.
29-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. That one caught by Smith. A gain there of 15. Good for an Eagles first down.
That's good for an Eagles first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Just a really good play design that time, Mike, from the offensive coordinator. They match up one of the most explosive playmakers in the NFL with a hook curl defender, and he's just not able to match up with one of the best route runners in the league.
And in motion is Brown. On first down, it's Hurts. His fullback releasing, and he's going to bring it in. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down.
So I don't think his fullback was his primary option on that play, but a really nice job by the quarterback working quickly through his progression, getting the ball down to his big fullback, and he's able to pick up a nice gain.
On second down, Hurts. He'll step up and run.
A gain of 6. And an Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
I love this call, Mike. Second down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the first down.
A throw on the move is caught. 17 yards on that connection. First down, Philadelphia.
And nothing matters if this protection isn't able to pick up that blitz. They do a fantastic job of stunting that pass rush just long enough to find an open man downfield.
They'll run the counter with Barkley. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. On the run to the right. Now he'll run it. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with first and goal.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
Here's Barkley. A short kick down to the 7.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Line of scrimmage, the 7 for 2nd and goal. One more time, they try Barkley. Stop at the 6, and that sets up 3rd and goal.
And after putting together what's been a long and methodical drive, they suddenly find themselves on the verge of potentially stalling out. So this defense, they can get a stop here. That would feel like a pretty big win on a drive that's largely been dominated by the offense.
3rd and goal for Hurts. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Wise decision, especially at this stage of the game. You certainly don't want to force something and let the other guys right back into the game.
On 4th down, here comes Jake Elliott for the Philadelphia field goal. This, about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Eagles will extend their lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Jake Elliott to kick
And
off
back to
for
work goes
Philadelphia.
Elliott after making the field goal. He'll send this one away. Johnson now to return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Steelers offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. Now Rudolph. Right side and corralled by Fielder. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down.
At the 35-yard line.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. Rudolph looking to throw. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And even though you're facing a big deficit, I still think this is the right decision. At some point, you do have to start forcing the ball to make something happen, but you can't be reckless. So I think this would have been more on the reckless side, and certainly a good decision. Maintain possession of the ball.
He'll try to run for it. And that's a veteran quarterback doing what veterans do. Don't take the extra hit. Got the 1st down, get down. The drive continues.
Anytime a quarterback decides to tuck it and turn himself into a runner, you can just feel the sideline hold their breath. They're just hoping that he gets down, picks up enough for the 1st down, but more importantly, protects himself so he can get himself back up and continue on.
And a pickup of 3 or maybe 4. Nolan Smith makes the tackle.
Nolan Smith. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Warren. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard.
The tackle by Jordan Davis. A gain of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 4. Here's Rudolph. There's a short one caught by Freiermuth. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
That's good.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that be a bit of a letdown.
And they'll take this down inside the 35. 15 yards through the air. Good for a Steeler 1st down.
Steelers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these 1st downs and go finish with 6. There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game. You can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
Here comes 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Warren. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 13 yards. That's a Steeler 1st down.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the 2nd half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks, so don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Nolan Smith able to stay with the quarterback. He runs him down for a loss of 9.
Even when it seems like they're putting a nice drive together, Mike, they just can't seem to escape this pass rush. It has been relentless all game long, and they get him here again.
look to throw. Metcalf reels it in on the right side. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. So, 3 quarters now in the books. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Third and long. To throw is Rudolph. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
Been a largely forgettable performance from this offense up until this point, Mike. I mean, these sacks, they just continue to stop so many of their drives throughout the entire game. And then you look up at the scoreboard, and it pretty much reflects that here in the fourth quarter.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This one will be from 37 yards out. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers are back within 2 scores.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Chris Boswell to
Back
kick
out
off
is
for
Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. Bigsby to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense about ready to take over once more. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Barkley to start the drive. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. He's got his man ground.
Complete to Marquise Brown. No gain on the play. Leads to 3rd and 11.
Third and 11. Throwing is Hurts. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. Still going. Hollywood Brown. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 74 yards. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
Here's Elliott for the extra point. He's got it. And the Eagles will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
Steelers 6.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Johnson now to return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. The Steelers' offense ready to see what they can do. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. Right away, they'll set up to throw. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
This offense, they just can't establish any sort of rhythm. There's just no way to sustain any scoring drives when your quarterback is being pressured and sacked this often.
Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
Throwing now on third and long. And that is incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on third down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up fourth down.
Steelers getting ready to put this one away, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. On the return, it's Covey. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia offense set to take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time. On play action, here's Hurts. That's right side. He's got count to terror. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. They'll get 11 there. And that's a quick first down.
Let's give some credit to this offensive line. Once they identified the blitz, you could see them communicating with one another to make sure everybody is on the same page. And that's what gave the quarterback enough time and found the open man.
And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 9. To throw is Hurts.
The pass. He was brought down by Jaquan Brisker. A loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Third and long. Hurts now. This one just too far for the receiver out in front of him. That one falls incomplete.
Protecting the ball anytime you throw the ball in the middle of the field is obviously critical, right? That's where tip passes, that's where all sorts of stuff happens when you put the ball in harm's way. But you also have to protect your receivers. There's a bit of a trust back and forth with the receiver saying, hey, I'm willing to go across the middle and compete for the ball. But now you're my eyes. You have to protect me and make sure that the location of the ball doesn't run me into a big hit.
And that's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. The Steelers' offense ready to take over once more. On the ground, it's Warren to start the drive. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. Give them 14 on that play, one first down.
Well, really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
The threat of making a poor decision and throwing a pick is always in the back of your mind, and while you can't play scared, you do have to play smart. If you can't find an open target, throw the ball away, live for the next down.
2nd and 10. Throwing, Rudolph. Forced out wide.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
3rd down and 9. Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. Time for the deep shot, looking for Thielen. This one, incomplete. The defense up to the challenge there. They force the incompletion, and they'll take the ball over on downs.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
Around the gun, they give it to Barkley, and he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake, Hurts. He takes off. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
Now Hurts going to call his own number. And he'll be met in the backfield and drop behind the line of scrimmage.
Oftentimes, the more success you have as a quarterback keeping the ball, the more attention that you're going to get from the defense, and I think that's exactly the case here. They've been burned a few times by this guy already today, but this time they were ready for him.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. On second down, Barkley able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him, take him down behind the line.
I think a little bit of what's happened here, Mike, is this offense is having some trouble matching the level of physicality of the defense. So physically, they're getting beat at the point of attack, and I think these last two plays are a great example why.
On third down, they'll go with Saquon. And that's not going to work either. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
On fourth down, here comes Jake Elliott for the Philadelphia field goal. Officially an even 50-yard attempt. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Eagles will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. Johnson now to return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They're obviously looking for, I guess, a moral victory at this point. Still in search of their first touchdown of this game. This is probably going to be their last shot to get it in the end zone, and this drive will begin with first down. They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And a good piece of running there. He'll get about 9 yards past the 35-yard line. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining on the clock. Now it's 2nd and 1. Back to throw is Rudolph. On the move left. He's going to tuck it and go. And Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their second. The clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the game.
These are the plays that just drive the defensive coordinator crazy, Mike. You do everything right, but you don't account for the quarterback scrambling. He's able to get out of the pocket and gain enough for a first down.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. He'll drop to throw. Metcalf left side. He's got it. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. And now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout. And it comes with 15 seconds to play in the game.
At the 43-yard line.
They'll look to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand. And live to play another snap.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. So it's a win here for the Eagles. They use a little home cooking here. They play a complete football game. And are going to send their fans home quite happy. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners, as we say, so long from South Philly.